We can also select rows in a data frame based on conditional logic. So we can check certain criteria and only return things that match that criteria. So, for example, we might, in our data frame here, we might want to retrieve all records where the county is Cornwall. So all patients who live in Cornwall. And to do that, again, we use df.log. And then in the square brackets, we put in our conditional statement. So this needs to resolve, whatever statement comes in here needs to resolve to a Boolean, needs to be a true or false, essentially, that this would resolve to. So here we've got a comparison operation that checks whether the county, so df county, so that refers to the county column of this data frame, whether that is strictly equal to Cornwall. So therefore it'll only then return patient records that are where the county is Cornwall. We can also do things like check where the age is greater than or equal to 60 using exactly the same format. We can also combine multiple conditions, much as we can with conditional logic, although there's a slight difference. So we can check, for example, let's say we want to retrieve all the records from patients who are in Cornwall who are aged 60 and over. Then we need to check both of these conditions, that the county is Cornwall and the age is greater than or equal to 60. However, note the slight difference here. In a conditional logic, in an if statement, you can use the keyword and, A-N-D. You cannot do that in df.lock. You have to use the ampersand character, not the word and. It will fall over. Or at least it used to, unless I changed that. So you do need to use the ampersand character here if you want to use an and. So this says only return entries where both of these things are true. Okay, that the county is Cornwall and they're at least 60. And as you might have guessed, because we can use and logic, we can also use or logic as well. And here we say we may want to grab patients who live in Cornwall or those who are at least 60. So grab me everyone from Cornwall and people that live elsewhere only if they're 60 or over. Essentially, that's what that's saying. Again, you can't use the or keyword. Instead, you have to use pipe. Pipe is one of those symbols that you look at on your keyboard and think, oh, I didn't notice that was there, that we used to use quite a lot in the old days, and it's still used if you use sort of Linux shells and things like that. It's a really handy little character, but for the rest of you, look for that vertical bar. That's the pipe character, and it's probably one of the very few situations where you will use it in your daily lives. But basically this means or in this context. So either this needs to be true or that needs to be true, or both.